Hi, everyone, and welcome to Faith in an Ever Changing World Encouragement and Hope Faith Story. I'm Janet Harley, your host, and it is such a pleasure to have with me today Terry Weaver. Hi, Terry, and welcome.
Hey, Janet, thank you for having me on.
You're welcome. You're welcome. My pleasure. Terry is a veteran writer and actor. And as a matter of fact, he is lead actor on the television series Breaking Strongholds. And I'm sure we'll be talking about that a little bit later. Terry's life mission is to inspire those he loves and the world through his faith, creativity, and writing. And when we come back, right after our short intro, we'll be hearing Terry's faith story. Stay with us. And welcome back. Terry, if you will, please share with us your faith story.
What a massive question.
No.
I grew
And
up,
really, we all have a lot of faith stories, don't we?
yeah, we do. I grew up in religion, and that is dodging your question because there's a big difference between religion and faith. And I kind of pushed the limits and the boundaries until I was about 32 years old, and my maturity was a little delayed. I wasn't a complete wreck until then, but I was a wreck. I had finally had enough, and I told the Lord one last time, if you save me from this mess, then I'll serve you. And I always like to put out a caveat that since that day, it hasn't been a bed of roses, and I mess up all the time. I mean, I screw up all the
Oh,
time.
we all do. Yes.
And for people that watch this who may not, be a believer or a Christian, that is my faith. It's not an easy road. Uh,
No.
and I think people that put that out there, they're completely off. I mean, we're constantly pulled between temptation and the world and the devil, who is very real, and our own desires and what the Lord wants from us. And that's a tough place to be in. So, um, yeah, I was in the military. I left home at 16, joined the military, and got out of the military 5 years later. And I often say that I fumbled in life for about 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And I straightened up a little bit, and I got a good job and got a degree, but I was still just kind of floundering in life. And I was dealing with an addiction. I was running from my pain, and
Mhm.
that just about buried me and my family, about ruined my family. And when I realized that my family was at the expense of my mistakes, that's when I said, okay, I'm going to lose it all if I don't straighten up. And I had tried everything else, and I hadn't tried
Wow.
God. I hadn't
Yeah.
tried God fully, completely. And so that day, I knelt beside my bed and asked God to help me with this problem that I had, this problem called myself.
Mm,
And He
goodness.
helped me with that. And there's this void inside all of us that there's something missing from our lives, and we often try to fill it with we often try to fill it with self or with
Yeah.
drugs or anything that eases the pain. And I did that for a long time. And filling it with the Lord's love is what changed
Mm,
my life. And you got to continue to fill it up because it drains out. And so a
that's right.
relationship with the Lord is the only way that I've made sense of life or tried to make sense of life. I'm still trying to figure things out. So
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. And we cannot do it without his help.
you laugh like you know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. I sure do. I sure do. Oh my goodness. And the older I get, the closer I feel my relationship is with the Lord. And that's really key is a relationship, having that relationship with him.
Yeah, and it's just like any other relationship. I often I'll often go 6, 8 months without talking to a friend, and there's this thing about human nature
Yeah.
that you automatically default to negative when there's no communication. You just start to think, oh, well, that person that I know and trusted at one point and loved, they must not like me because we haven't talked for 6 months. That's a human problem. It's a
Yeah.
default. The same thing happens with our relationship with God. When we don't commune with the Lord, when we don't get together with the Lord, that relationship's it fatigues. And so we got to keep that up. Got to keep chasing the Lord. He's
That's
always there
it.
when we talk to him. So
And it's daily we need to do that. It's not just something we do one time and that's whoop, it's all taken care of. It's a daily effort to do
that's right.
that. Well, Terry, tell us a little bit about strong breaking strongholds.
So I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you
Yes.
asked. And it's interesting. Breaking strongholds is it's going to be a phenomenon because there's tons of hurting people,
Yeah.
and they've got to this point where they believe that suicide is an option, and
Yeah.
that's because of all the negative forces in this world.
Mm.
And Breaking Strongholds is a faith-based mystery drama. It's set here in Montgomery, Texas, and we've got a cast of about 50 people. We've been working on this show for a couple years now.
Yeah.
We just released 4 episodes. We funded the show through donations. So we went out to our community and we said, for simplicity's sake, we've got this big problem, and we need your help. And they stood up and they donated funds to our production company, Reflective Media Productions, and our community came together. We
Yeah.
cast a wonderful cast, and we've created this show called Breaking Strongholds. The story is very gripping. It's amazing.
Hmm.
Our writer
It
Robin
is.
Murray is fantastic, and it's encouraging a lot of people. We have testimonies coming in from all over
Hmm.
the place that are finding the show saying this really encouraged me. I wish I would have had this 20 years ago when I lost so and so.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the show
Wow.
really it's a mystery drama. Like I said, there's a missing person in the show, but throughout the show we teach people how to look for signs that people are struggling, and
Mm.
we teach people how to address those by asking questions, asking if people are okay. And so while you're going through this mystery drama, watching it, intrigued on the edge of your seat, you're learning about signs of suicide and depression.
Hmm. Absolutely, and I'm a fan. They are filming season two right now as we speak, and so looking forward to season two coming out. And but it's so well done, and it is mysterious. It leaves you thinking about things, and so I encourage you to watch it. And I think congratulations, you will be on PureFlix now, and also some nominations have been made. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I can't. We had 14 nominations at the Content
Woo.
2022 Festival,
Wow.
which is held in the Weatherford, Texas area.
Hmm.
Uh, Biannually. It's fantastic. If you want to check it out, Christian Media Conference, just search that, or Content 2022.
Yeah.
It actually happens at a film studio. So this media conference happens at a film studio,
Wow.
and the show's been selected episode 3, in fact, which is my favorite episode, because there's really a turn in the story there, and there's a very emotional moment, and it means a lot to me. But the show's been nominated for best cinematography, best director. We got a couple actor nominations there,
Wow.
so we're excited about that. And the show, you're right, the show is on PureFlix. It's also on YouTube. And since the show
Yes.
was funded by our community, that gave us the ability to give the show away for free. So you can actually watch the show directly on YouTube. Just search for Breaking Strongholds or
Yeah.
Reflective Media Productions, and you can watch
Yeah.
all 4 episodes without paying anything, which is pretty neat.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so I know that you know, there are stories that you could tell probably from filming Breaking Strongholds. But I just want to thank you for being with me today and for sharing your faith story. And oh, also, you're a writer, so you have books, right? You've written some books.
I've written 4 books.
Yeah.
But I've actually helped out with some of the writing for season 2, and I'm so thankful for that because I really
Oh,
got to
good.
come in at a tough point in the story and help. I think maybe just add a little bit of intrigue to it and just help. The story's captivating, and so it leaves you wanting more, as you said
Absolutely.
earlier. But I've had a lot of fun writing. I love writing. Here's something for our viewers. I heard this quote one time, and this really radically changed the way I think about creativity. There's a gentleman by the name of Frederick Heron. He said, when we're creating, we're most like God. You think about the ultimate creator. Who is that? That's God. He created
Yep.
everything, heavens and earth. And when we emulate his creativity, we are most
Oh,
like him. And I think that we need more people of faith. We need more Christians involved in
yes.
media because there's some really dark stuff out there. And
Yeah.
we need to stand up and be a light in this dark world. Our anchor verse for the show is John 1:5, light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Some
Mm,
translations say cannot overcome it. And we believe that when we stand up and shine light, the
absolutely.
darkness doesn't win. We
That's
win.
right.
God wins.
That's right. Cannot penetrate. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, one more question for you, Terry, before we leave. What is one thing we can all do to hang on to our faith in this ever changing world we live in?
Well, I think we need to. Let me just speak for me. The way that I hang on to my faith is I meet with the Lord on a daily basis, and He is that time with the Lord, the
Yes.
communication with the Lord is paramount. If I
Mm,
miss that, and I do that, the first thing I do, I go down, I get my coffee, and I sit down and I read the Word. I'll read a
yeah.
couple chapters and maybe a chapter from Proverbs, and
Mm,
just think about that. And
yeah.
inevitably, um, I'm encouraged for the day. It sets my foundation, something to stand on for the day. And so,
Yes.
meeting with the Lord, you don't have to have any special training for this. You can go to the Lord and say, "Hey, help me, Lord. I need your help today." And He
Yeah.
listens. The neat thing about the Lord is He never turns His back on us. It doesn't matter
No.
what type of kid we are, He's the perfect Father.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And he is always with us and always will be. And he's always working for us. And so, even though we don't think he is, God is always working. God is always working. Yes, in our
Amen.
lives. Thank you so very much. And I want to thank you too for your service for our country.
My
Thank you
pleasure.
so much. Yes, yes. My dad served in World War II, and my husband was in the Vietnam War. So just appreciate that very much. Thank you. Thank you again, Terry, for being my guest today. What a pleasure. And I want to thank all of you for watching, and also Creative Motion Network and Abundant Television Network. This show is seen on both of those networks, so check them out. Have faith and look up, friends, where our help comes from. Bye. God bless.